Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. Associated with this idea of what is happening with my perspective on podcasting, I talked a little bit about what occurred in 2006. I want to talk a little bit critically associated with what contemporary podcasts are like, because I think the kind of Groundhog Day element of this thing, like the same mistakes being made continuously over and over again, no one learns from the mistakes. You get people coming back and just saying, oh, this is all afresh. This is the way you create podcasts. Pack it with ads, try to get your listeners to pay for it, all this kind of nonsense. I mean, this is why podcasting has never exploded. Well, it's a two-part reason. The first part, I think, is that Apple has never, ever, ever seriously promoted the form. And to say that is to say that the form was worth promoting at some time, which is a kind of catch-22. Also, there was a flux of, former radio people, which kind of came in dribs and drabs through the 2000s, now into the 2010s. And the successful podcasts that lasted like a series and a half, like Serial, for example, and all the media that went into these things. I mean, honestly, I'm at a stage now where I could hire a publicist and I could get publicity for my podcasts, and I could be generating media associated with these things. I could be getting listeners through that. But I'm still hopeful. I'm still a hoper based on model rail radio. The podcasts will be an organic means of growth where people just find podcasts that I produce, like them, and tell their friends about it. It's a vain hope. But what I'm seeing when I survey the podcasts that are being produced currently, it seems to be like the worst aspects of radio. The notion of this form as a means of social change, not really there. And my peers, who ultimately are a barometer for this kind of thing, have completely sidestepped podcasts and now listen to audiobooks exclusively. The traditional intellectual means of books coming in an audio form seems to be the way that this thing has resolved itself. And me, with my audio podcasts, it just isn't the same thing. So when I tried to explain to people about model rail radio and how amazing it is that I can travel anywhere in the world and meet a bunch of people, which is still the case, I reflect, what are these things other than the stuff that I'm doing? And how have I failed so dismally to influence others associated with these forms? Like, why it's a failing form to try to get sponsorship. Why it's a failing form to try to get listeners to contribute money. I don't know. I don't know what I can say to this. But it's feeling to me, after more than a decade of doing this thing, that if the system is fundamentally broken, I came to this view with artificial life as well. I came to this view with regards to artificial life in academia, and even generally the hobby of artificial life. I came to this view independently, by taking a step back, having a look at it, and assessing what was going on. Now, independent of this, I continued to develop Noble8, because that was more about something that was me. It was an interaction that I had with some software. But in terms of the externality, in terms of what was going on for other folk in the field, I became very critical of artificial life, and it's a criticality that stayed with me for good reason. So, what does one do in these circumstances? Well, I'm going to record a few future short funks associated with some of the ideas that I've come up with through this. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.